Okay, today we're going to talk about how you could do a temporary winterizing of your sprinkler system. You might be doing this sometime in September or October before you do a full winterization, and if the weather report says we're going to get a night or two or three that's below freezing. And so you're going to want to do a couple things to protect primarily the parts on the outside, but the process starts here on the inside. So you're going to need a few things, a few tools to do this. What you're going to need is a pair of pliers, just a slotted screwdriver, and some tubing helps out. This particular tubing is of a size that fits right on this little cap here when we unscrew the brass cap that's on there, which we'll do here shortly. And then what we'll do is take that tubing after we remove that cap and take it down into this pail down here to catch the water that's going to come back this way. So our first step in this process today is just turning the main water shutoff to the off position. And that's for the sprinkler system main shutoff. It's not the house main shutoff down here. It's just for your sprinkler system. And the next thing we're going to do is remove the little brass cap with a pair of pliers. And we're probably going to get just a little bit of water that comes back this way when we take it out. So we'll have our tubing ready to stick on there. And then we'll stick that tubing down into the pail here, and we'll get more water that's going to come back this way when we go outside and open a couple of items out there that lets some air into the system, and then we're going to get a little bit more water that's going to drain back this way, maybe a quart or something like that. It just depends upon how long this line is going to the outside of your house. So we're going to go outside now. Okay, now we've come to the outside, and this is where the sprinkler line comes, the water line servicing your sprinkler system comes to the outside. And yours might not look exactly like this, but it's going to be pretty darn similar. So we got the water line coming to the outside, going up through a shutoff, then through the pressure vacuum breaker, through another little shutoff, down into the ground, and over to the valve box. And so there's several adjustments that we're going to make out here. First, we're going to take these little petcock screws right here, and we're going to turn them where the little slot is at about a 45 on both of them. And there was just a tiny bit of residual pressure in the system, so that's why we're seeing some water spritz out those things. Then we're going to take these two shutoffs, and we're going to turn those to about a 45-degree angle as compared to the pipe that they are in. And then the next thing that we're going to do is remove this little cap down here with a pair of pliers. We'll probably get a little bit of water that dribbles out that. And that's actually what we're hoping for. What we're trying to really do primarily is get the water out of this unit right here, because it's the most expensive part. When the water inside of it freezes on a cold night, expands and breaks the brass housing or breaks a plastic device that's inside of it. Then you end up having to run to Home Depot and purchase some parts and hire a plumber to replace. And so we're trying to prevent that. And again, what we're doing is just for a 2 or 3 nights where it gets below freezing, and you just want to do a temporary winterization that you can then reverse and start your system back up when we get some more warm days throughout the rest of September or October. So next step is going over to our valve box over here. We take the cover off, and if we look down inside, hopefully these are showing up. There's a couple brass valves caps. There's one there and one there. They're shaped like a cross, and so we're going to open each of those, and that's going to allow more water to dribble out, and we're seeing some water come out of that. Yours may only have one of these valves. Typically 2 is about the most you're going to see. So we're going to open each of them, and essentially that's it. What the primary thing we've done is we're getting the water out of this area right here. The underground lines for those 2 or 3 cold nights where it's below freezing really aren't going to experience any problems. It's just getting the water out of this thing that we're wanting to do, because again, it's the most expensive part when the water inside of it freezes and breaks. And so to reverse this, after you've had your 2 or 3 cold nights and you want to turn back on the watering system, go to our website and you can view the video how to start up your sprinkler system in the springtime, and those steps would apply to start up your sprinkler system again. If you got any questions, feel free to shoot us an email at warranty@infinityhomecollection.com. Thanks.